There we go. I changed the background.
Hey!
Hey! We're going to talk about Avatar first, I suppose.
Yes, because I feel like that one's less. There's less to talk about because it was more of a random pick from me.
Yeah.
Than something I was passionate about. I just really wanted you to see it because you hadn't.
No. I knew of it, and I was like, what? Kids' baby shows? No, I don't want to watch that.
Yeah, but it's such a fun kid show, though.
Sure. Yeah, I watched the first 5 episodes.
Good.
In almost one sitting, because they're so short.
Yeah, they're like, what, 23 minutes or something?
Yeah. Classic. 22
Yes.
minutes, 24 episodes. Perfect. That's what TV should be. And each episode, you know what? Each episode is its own little adventure, but it's building
and they
up
move forward
to
all the
something.
time.
Yeah. So you want to ask me
So what did you think of it?
Yeah. I thought, at least the first 5 episodes, as an introduction to the show,
Yes.
I thought it was pretty good. It's silly,
Yeah.
but it's and it has that anime problem where most of it is just like a fourth of the episode takes up of one action scene.
Yeah.
And then it feels like they're like rushing through the rest. But the characters are fun. I think Aang as not the protagonist, but as the I guess hero of the show.
Yeah.
It's interesting that he has a lot of responsibility. Not that he not really yet, but obviously he is the one who's supposed to like bring peace back to the world or whatever.
Yeah.
He doesn't really get it yet. It starts to like dawn on him in the 5th episode, I think, or the 4th episode, which was what was the name? I had it up here.
Oh, the King of Amashu.
No. The episode before that, the Warriors of Kyoshi.
Warriors of Kyoshi, yeah.
A little bit in Avatar Returns, when the Fire Nation attacks Sokka and Katara's
the
village, but more in Warriors of Kyoshi.
South Pole?
Yes, South Pole. When they attack that village, and it's like, oh, this is my fault. I have to do something about this.
Yeah,
that thing. But then, and he's kind of rediscovering the world, and he's growing as a character. As is Sokka. Katara, maybe not so much.
I can tell you this much. That comes later in the show.
Okay,
a little bit.
Okay.
Because she's already so grown up that she doesn't really have time to grow up more yet.
she is I'm not gonna call her the Mary Sue, but she's the one who has to like kind of carry the other characters, so to speak. So she has to be more
she's the responsible one.
Yes, exactly. So there's not much growing needed there yet.
No, but it definitely comes. I'll tell you that. Because over the 3 seasons, all of them grow a lot.
Yeah. No, it's...
I have watched it all. It's been a while, though, but I've seen it all.
Yeah. No, it was fun. Like I said, I like that every episode is its own adventure.
Yeah.
It's does it? Because from what I understand, because I talked about this with a friend of mine at work, who's like, "Oh my god, yes, you have to watch that show." When I mentioned this idea for the podcast, and I told me I at that point I'd watched the first 3 episodes in one sitting. I saw the first 3 episodes, and it's kind of it's baby movie stuff, but it's still fun. I can see like kids really enjoying this, and he mentioned that it gets more like grown-up adult, so to speak, in the later seasons. Even though I thought there was more than 3 seasons, but I guess there isn't.
No, they're just kind of long because they're like 20+ episodes in each season.
Yeah, there's first season is 20 episodes. Second is 20 as well. Okay, so it's 60
maybe
episodes.
Maybe there's 20 in each then.
And then it gets more involved in the later seasons. Is there any did they do any movies or spin-off? I mean, there is the Legend of Korra, but other than that,
I don't think so. I think the next sequel, so to speak, is Legend of Korra, which takes place
isn't it before?
No, it's after.
Oh, okay.
She's the next Avatar, I think.
Oh,
if I'm not misremembering.
And that one I remember a lot of people didn't like a lot of Avatar
because it didn't have
purists.
the same feel to it.
Okay.
I didn't watch that properly because I agree. I watched like the first few episodes and I'm like, it doesn't feel the same.
Yeah.
It's almost like a Katara show. Because they're kind of similar the way I remember them. And she's not as fun to have as the main character.
All I know about that show is from this YouTuber, I guess he's technically still active, called E:R, who does a lot of like reviews of TV shows and movies. And he's very like edgy. His humor is very, very edgy to the point where I'm like, are you actually racist? Yeah, it's weird. He has a whole series where he reviews The Legend of Korra called Legend of Horror, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he likes to, when he talked about Star Wars, J.J. Abrams was called Juju Abrams. Yeah, stuff like that. It's like, that's funny, but then there's like stuff that's like, wait a minute.
There's a point?
I don't know, dude. I don't know about you. You're funny, but some of the stuff you say, yikes. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, and he did not like Legend of Korra at all.
No, it didn't feel the same. And I think that's why that one wasn't as long, I think. They kind of gave up on it.
Yeah.
Which is the same issue we had with the live action movie that was made. It just didn't have the same feeling to it.
No, it bombed horribly.
Oh yes, and I completely understand why.
I've seen one scene of that, and I had no idea I don't even think I knew what the TV show was back then. And I saw one scene and I was like, what is this garbage? Turn it off, basically. And I left the room because I wasn't watching it. But
I couldn't finish it. I think I saw the first 20 minutes and it went, I can't do this. It's impossible. I can't. Even the same with, didn't Netflix do a live action show?
Yeah, recently.
Now?
Like this year or last year, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think I could finish that one either. And I don't think they got very far with it.
No.
It's got 8 episodes.
So probably retelling the first season?
No. You know what? It's official. Season 2 and 3 are coming.
Okay. All right. I heard initially good things about that, but then they're also like,
the show was better than the movie.
Avatar.
Yeah, there's still some things that are very off, but the show was definitely better than the live action movie. Sure.
I would.
They did some things better.
I would.
But
yes.
The casting is still a bit off. I don't know.
Right.
They're moving kind of quickly through. It's similar episodes, but they're moving quicker through them because there's less episodes.
But they're longer. Are they 40 minutes?
They're about twice as long, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But like you were at episode 4 with the Warriors of Kyoshi.
Yeah, but I saw 5 as well.
Yeah, but they are in episode 2 of the live action version.
Oh, really? Okay. Well,
yeah, so they're moving much quicker.
Maybe that's good.
To get to certain things, obviously, and focusing on certain points that are more interesting to do and more easier to do, I guess, live action.
Yeah.
I don't remember how they figured out the flying bison.
It's CGI.
Probably.
Obviously.
Well, yes. Obviously.
No, they actually made a flying bison.
Yeah, they bred him and
No, they put some fur on a drone. And then they said,
giant drone.
Come on, kids, hop on. It's not dangerous. No. I don't really have much more to say about the show.
No, there's not much more to say. I just really wanted to make sure that you actually watched a little bit.
Okay.
Because it's one of those shows that are, or used to be when I was a little bit younger, really like a comfort show. You could just watch it whenever. It didn't really matter.
Sure.
It doesn't matter if you don't finish it either because, whatever. You've seen some of the episodes. That's all you need.
Yeah. It's a classic kids show. Yeah. Where you can really just tune into any episode and you just need to know that they're on a mission to get to this place and along the way they have some adventures and you'll catch one adventure here or there,
They even pointed out in, was it the first or second episode, before we leave, before we get to the North Pole, we're gonna this, and this, because he's like a kid who's missed 100 years of his life.
Yeah. That's,
I need to catch up. I need to meet all my friends.
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, in the 90s, the TV shows were even less structured. Sometimes they didn't even have a backstory. It was just, the intro was the backstory, which this also kind of is. And then it was just, it kind of started in the middle, so to speak. They're on their way already. Usually because back then pilots were never shown. Pilots were shown once, and then they were never part of the actual They usually call it
No,
the
which-
unaired pilot when it was released on DVD or something like that.
Looking at IMDb, this one has that.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
an episode 0
Yeah.
where Sokka and his sister Kaya, later renamed Katara, must travel the world to find masters for Aang, who is the Avatar.
Yeah. And then episode 1 kind of retells that story, but it was, remade a little bit.
Yeah, and probably, they removed some things that could come later in the season instead.
Yes. Classic example of that is Pirates in Dark Waters. Do you remember that show? I mean, it was made when I was like 3, so I probably saw it when I was 5 or 6. No, yeah.
Pirates in Dark Waters.
Yeah. It's about a prince who has to find 7 things to make, because the water, they live on like a water planet, and I mean, there's land too, but most water. And the water is like infected by some black goo, and he has to find 7 things to stop it from happening, and there's pirates chasing him and stuff.
The style makes me think of He-Man, Savior of the World.
Yeah. Masters of the Universe.
Masters of the Universe, sorry, yeah.
And that show just starts in the middle, and it was pretty expensive show because there was a lot of like animation stuff going on. It was very involved. So they made 1 season, which ended on a big cliffhanger, and they were like, it's just too expensive. Not enough people are watching it.
No one's gonna care.
We're never gonna finish it, and they never finished it. But it's a kid's show, so who gives a fuck,
Exactly.
They just ran those, 30, 40 episodes over and over again. And kids were like, yay! This has that feel. Like, you can just watch an episode and have fun with it.
Yeah.
You might miss some details. Like, if you jump in later in the seasons, you're like... Or you watched an early episode where Zuko is a bad guy. I know later he like joins the group.
Yeah, he
might be like,
understands
huh?
the issues.
But, whatever,
Yeah, all you need to know is, well, obviously he turned. Okay.
Yeah.
And there's a new bad guy. Okay.
Yeah. You don't need more than that.
No.
And I like that simplicity.
Yes, which is why I wanted you to see it.
Yeah. I, of course, like we talked about a lot, I like complex stuff that challenges me as well.
Sure.
But
sometimes.
Yeah. But when I know it's a kid's show, I'm fine with it being simple.
Exactly. Then it's even more forgivable.
Yeah. That's why I just have to mention Marvel. That's why Marvel should have been for kids. They shouldn't have been $200 million dark serious movies. This is bullshit. It's cartoons. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Make it fun instead.
I mean, it's literally comic books, and they're all colorful and wham, kablam.
Yeah.
Like,
and we all know the comic books
to...
were just big ads for bubblegum and candy originally.
Yeah, exactly.
Deep lore. Suck my farts. Anyway.
Anywho. This is not a show that we would ever do like a full episode on, watching all of it, because it's I mean, we could, but it's not that interesting to talk about. There's definitely, if you want to like overanalyze it, there's so much you could. But
sure there is.
I don't feel the need to, because it is a kid's show. Everyone should just know about it. That's about it.
Yeah.
Everyone should watch it once.